Here's a quick video to show you how to get into the menu and scroll through the menu and change some things if you need to on your Rosemount 2051 transmitter. So as you can see right now, we're showing a slight error. So a negative 0.0 or 0.5 inches of water column, which is negative 41.7 gallons per minute in error. But to get into the menu, you hit either of those two buttons on the front. Either one of them will turn the menu on. And then you get view configuration, and you get the two buttons again. On the left side, you have a down arrow. On the right side, you have an enter button, essentially. Most of your functions are that. Sometimes that'll change either to yes and no, depending on what it's asking you. So to go through the menu, you can use the down arrow to scroll. You got zero trim, units, re-range, loop test, display, extended menu, and then exit menu. If you hit it one more time, we're back to view configuration where we started. To view the configuration, you hit the right button, enter. That's the tag number. There's no tag number entered into this unit. Your pressure, your primary variable is pressure, which is differential pressure. That's what we want. So you can scroll down. Our units are inches of water column. In this case, it's 4 degrees Celsius, but it might be 68 degrees or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Our units are degrees Celsius. So our upper range value, this is an important one, is 250 inches of water column. That's the way yours should be set up as well. Your lower range value should be 0. We're always a 0 base for a flow application. With no flow, you're gonna have 0 differential pressure. Our transfer function is square root. So this controls the output signal. Your output signal is a square root relationship to the differential pressure. So your flow rate is a square root relationship to your differential pressure, I guess you should say. So your output signal, your 4 to 20 milliamp signal, is linear to flow because your square root is being applied inside the transmitter. You got 0.4 seconds of damping, which is like just a filter. And then we got some information like the high alarm is set at 22.1 milliamps. So if you have a 22.1 output signal, it's an alarm signal. That's your low alarm. Your high saturation is 20.8. So if you're going a little bit over pressure, over your high flow rate, it'll show 20.8 milliamps at its most. It's as high as it will go. And at the low end, you got 3.9, as low as it will go for flow. And anything below that is an alarm signal. So this one, if it has an alarm, it's going to go to that high alarm signal of 22.8, I think it was. Security is off, and then back to the menu. So the menus are very easy to scroll through. When you get to other things, like units, you can hit the right button to enter to change things. So our pressure units are inches of water column and 4 degrees Celsius. If you want to change that to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you can change that. As you scroll through, we give you other options. You have feet of water, millimeters of water column, millimeters H2O, centimeters of water column. We're just gonna go back to where we started. You kind of see there's an icon, like a scroll bar sort of thing at the top. It shows you how far along you are in the list. So that's where we started, so I'll save. So any changes you make aren't changed until you hit save. So then again, as I said before, you have to know where yes for the buttons. So we're gonna hit yes to save that. And we can keep scrolling through our options. You get temperature units, back to the menu. It's kind of like that for all these points. You can do a loop test to send a forced 4 to 20 signal, whatever signal you want, to your control panel. You can set up the display differently. So right now you got pressure is on, so your differential pressure shows up. And our scaled variable is on, that's your flow rate, so that's also on. But we don't show temperature. I guess this is the temperature of the sensor. That's not the temperature of your process fluid. And percent range we don't show. We're not showing the analog output. You do have it set so when you start up, when you power on the unit, it shows you the configuration menu, kind of like the view config we just looked at. It kind of scrolls through that automatically and then goes into its normal process. And then back to menu again. And like I said, these are all kind of rinse and repeat for the different options. So under extended menu, you can do calibration. So you can change the calibration. You'd have to actually apply pressure to it. So you probably need to do that. You can change your damping. You can change your transfer function. under scaled variable, this is where you set up the flow rate. I'll go back to that real quick in a minute. This is your alarm values, your password. Go back to simulate. So I'm going to go back to scaled variable. So if you enter here, you can view the scaled variable, which I suppose I'll just do that. So it's our units, our gallons per minute. Our square root transfer function is also being applied for the scaled variable. This is for the display. Our pressure upper range value is 250 inches for pressure. And then our scale one, it's our flow rate in gallons per minute, is 900. We don't have a low flow cutoff, so that says off. That's pretty much it for the configuration. There you go.